One of the hardest things as coaches would do is holding our clients naturally creative, resourceful, and whole, or in CTI parlance, NCRW. That basically means that the clients have all the resources they need to achieve their goals. And we as coaches are serving our customers well, coming to our coaching sessions without any preconceived notions, leaving our biases at the door, and not judging anything that clients does or says to us. And it's hard. We come to our sessions with our own biases, with our own life experiences, with our own life events of the same day or week or a month. When I started my career as the professional coach, and when I started having clients in the sessions, I struggled with that a lot. And through a series of exercises and through some just sheer practice or volume of practice, I learned how to be curious about what client is saying and push away the thoughts that, oh, what you're saying is complete nonsense. Don't you see what you're doing? But again, that is hard. And what really did it for me, what really kind of turned on the light in my head and taught me how to push away the thoughts and how to get genuinely curious about the clients and their approach to their problems is NLP approach. And in NLP, there are a series of presuppositions that NLP practitioners hold true. And one of those foundational presuppositions says that the map is not the territory. What it basically means that we operate on a map which is far from perfect representation of the reality. None of us operates on the reality as it is. Think about it this way. When an event in your life occurs, it goes through your brain, it goes through your perceptual system, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, and you process it through a series of filters. Some sources call them GGNE. It's gender, generation, nationality, education, and emotion. And we react to these very differently. We have our biases in all these categories. So all the events that occur and we see, hear, or feel, we process through a series of these filters. At the same time, all the information goes through a series of meta-model violations. Those are distortions, generalizations, and deletions. So by the time the information settles in our brain and all those neurological paths get generated and we remember this information, it's generalized, distorted, or some of information is deleted. So that's how we generate our map, and it doesn't mandatorily mean that the map is the good representation of the reality. But who is there to say what reality is? Every person is different and every map is different, and I'm absolutely sure that if two people look at the same event and then asked about that event, they might describe different details, they might describe different generalities of that event, or they might perceive that event in completely different light. The interesting thing I heard today on the radio that kind of made me thought about the map idea was the episode from Engine of Our Ingenuities created by University of Houston. And they discussed actually real maps that were created of the London Tube. And apparently the first representation of London Tube was kind of really close to reality. And it was just the underground overlaid with actual city streets and houses and thoroughfares and rivers and all that. And the map was really hard to read because in the center of London, the stations were clustered really tightly. And then as they were going to suburbs or far from the center, the stations were really far apart. And there was this guy, his name was Henry Beck, who created a transit map, and he tried to create a map that would be easy to read for people and to put on the map what mattered to people: station names, location where it resides, or maybe like a bend of the river by which the map, the station was situated. So when he introduced that map, or when he submitted this map for approval, it was rejected because it was different. Nobody understood how to read that map. But as time went by, people bought into this abstraction of a map, so that it lacks the details, it lacks the precision, it lacks the actual reality. But now we use these kind of maps in pretty much all public transportation. We use such maps in United Kingdom, in Korea, in Japan. These are abstractions. So it made me thinking that all our maps that we generate in our brain as we map our reality, as we process that through our filters, these are abstractions. And your map will be absolutely different from mine. And when I go into a session and when I coach my client, this thought that they come to a session with a problem, with a question that they want to solve or answer, and they operate off of that absolutely unique, fantastically genuine map that they build off of the reality. And I get really, really acutely curious. What was going on in their brain? What was going on in their life, in their body, so that they generate that specific map of that reality? What kind of generalization, distortion, and deletion they applied through their life experience, through their skills, through their upbringing as child, that map became so unique that they have this problem right now. And if that doesn't make a coach curious, I don't know what would. So also that approach removes judgment completely from our coaching, because when you're curious, you cannot judge. The only question you ask, I'm curious how you got to this point, and I'm curious, what would it make better? What would it make for you closer to reality as it is?